have a first. Shaun, is the first time a guest has joined us that is taller than me.
I am so excited about this.
I do not like it whatsoever, but he's from Washington, D.C., so we give him a pass. Luka Garza in the house. How are you, Luka?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
All-time great at Iowa. I was looking it up. So you are the first player in Big Ten history, 2,000 points, 850 rebounds, 125 blocks, and 100 three-pointers, Shaun. It's pretty good.
Hey, man, it's tremendous, and I love the fact that nobody expected it. Like, I like when a young man goes to a college and he's kind of under the radar and he transforms himself into not just a good player, but the best player in the Big Ten, and then gets to realize his dream of playing in the NBA. I mean, that is tremendous. Think about University of Maryland. If they would have gotten Carmelo and then Luka Garza, maybe, just maybe, men's basketball might be a little different. Not sending a shot at Aaron Oster, our producer, who's a Maryland Terp fan, but I mean, hey, facts are facts.
I had a little thing, and this is what he does. He just completely derails.
But that's what quarterbacks do.
I had this whole thing said. I was going to get a shot of our producer back there because he's a Maryland alum and just had this whole big thing. Maybe we'll do that later.
We can still do it.
Luka Garza in here. So, Luka, you're playing for Portland here this during Summer League. Last year was with Detroit. So let the folks know kind of your situation heading into your second year in the league. Because, you know, for your first season, your rookie season, you got to start 5 games for the Pistons. Had honors in the G League. So what's your situation heading into year 2?
Yeah, rookie year was incredible. It was fun. It was a learning experience. I got to experience so many different things, as you mentioned, starting 5 games in the NBA, playing very well, in the rotation, and also playing in the G League for a long time with, we had one of the best teams in the G League. So got to experience a lot and had a lot of fun this year. And now I'm a free agent going into this year, so I'm playing Summer League right now. And I'm trying to see what's out there, what opportunities, and what's next on the horizon for myself.
So talk me through this. I mean, because you can't downplay this. Now, it's one thing to be on the roster. It's another thing when you know you're starting. So talk me through the pregame. Did you work on how you're going to pull the pants off when they announced Luka Garza? I mean, did you get with your teammates and, work on the dance? I know you guys got, all the hand claps. Talk me through the emotions and ultimately that experience, the first time hearing your name called as a starter.
Yeah, it was incredible. It actually came out of a little situation. One of our starters got suspended for a couple games, and, it actually worked out for myself. So I got to step in there and start. But, no, you experience all those nerves. You haven't done the handshake line in a while since college. Nobody knew my handshake. They weren't used to me starting either, so kind of had to figure that out for sure. But it was an incredible experience. And then, a couple months later when COVID happened, started 3 games in a row again, and that was another incredible experience for myself, and it helped me develop as a player. And I think in general, there's nothing like those game-like reps when you're playing that many minutes as a starter, and I think that's when the game really started to slow down for me at the NBA level.
Luka, it was funny. I was going back through, some of your highlights this year in the NBA and your game logs, and you had a couple 20-point games, and interestingly enough, you're here tonight with your former Iowa teammate Joe Wieskamp, who's with the San Antonio Spurs. Your coach is here, Fran McCaffrey, his sons, who are still on the Iowa roster, and would you say your 2 best games came against the Spurs? You had 20 against them in both games. Joe Wieskamp is on the Spurs. He's on the other side. You dropped 20 the day after Christmas and then 20 on New Year's Day in an overtime win. So what was it? Was it that friendly face on the? You used to kick at his butt in practice. You're like, all right, I got you, Joe. It made you feel good or something.
It might have been the familiarity that helped me out a little bit. No, it was a lot of fun, and we both played against each other in both of those matchups. So that was a really cool experience. And even my first bucket in preseason, we both scored our first bucket in the NBA at the same time in the same game in Detroit against the Spurs. So, the Spurs, it's been a good team for me so far.
I got to holler at my boy Popovich, man. Hey, you better get my guy. And then I'm going to text Chauncey.
You and Joe.
Pop's trying to get Luka.
I mean, Joe and Luka, look, they had a pretty good thing going at Iowa over all those years, all those points. So I think we're going to catch up with Joe here in a moment. But I'm curious, though, for you, rookie year, and you played 32 games with the Pistons, and you had 2 games against the Bucks. You played against the Nets, so you're playing against guys like Giannis, like Kevin Durant. I mean, those are your size. So did you have times on the floor where you matched up with either one of those guys?
Yeah, both games against the Bucks, I was guarding Giannis for a period of time.
That's probably
one
fun.
of those games. Yeah, yeah, not so much when he gets the rebounds, pushing it the whole way, and he's 7 foot, and can make every move that you need to make. So that was a learning experience for sure, especially the first time. And I think you kind of have to figure out ways, to kind of be able to slow him down, because you can't stop him, but you can try to slow him down.
What's really interesting though, you go in the second round last year. Joe Wieskamp goes in the second round as well. I mean, the success you guys had over your entire career at Iowa was tremendous. And then you think back to last year, Keegan Murray didn't start for you guys, and he's the 4th overall pick. He's headed to Sacramento. So did you see something in practice with Keegan that you said, that kid's got something there? He's got something special?
For sure. The moment he walked on campus, him and his brother, playing pickup with us, it was like, how was this kid not recruited by anybody? He was confident. He was shooting, a whole bunch. And, it was fun to watch. He was a guy you wanted to play with. And, during the season, it was really cool to see how he embraced his role. He wasn't a starter, but he was able to come in every single game and impact it, whether that being on the defensive end or getting on the glass and stuff like that. And so, once I, kind of remembered what I saw offensively from him and all those pickup games that we played, and then I saw what he did on the defensive end and the different ways he affected the games for us, I thought, if he could put it all together, that, he'd be one of the best players in America. And obviously I didn't, foresee him to make that huge of a jump in 1 year.
Right.
But you could definitely see it was going to happen at some point. And it happened quick for him, because he's a hard worker and he's got a great family and great people around him.
Well, I'll tell you this. Tim Murray, a.k.a. I call him the Ginger Genius, he was Keegan Murray's #1 fan. I mean, he was on the show Keegan Murray for Player of the Year. So when you see
he's got
Keegan,
a great last name.
let him know Tim is his biggest fan.
Yeah, I mean, well, us Murrays have to stick together.
You guys look just alike.
We do, very similar. A lot of similarities. Hanging out with Luka Garza, the pride of Washington D.C. Went to the Murray School back in the day. I played against Murray way before. Way before Luka.
First of all, when you're talking about a guy that can play basketball, don't interject with your career.
Why?
Because, I mean, you were a great bench teammate. I mean, you were the guy that was into the game, emotional. You come off, the emotions are low.
In college, all right?
Tim was the one met you in half court. Come on, baby, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We do have one picture of him playing basketball. And we're not sure what he's doing, Luka. Because the ball's here. He seems like he's coming back down. He's reaching this way. The ball's going that way. We haven't really been able to get the live video to see exactly what happened, but the still shot doesn't look good.
This is what I have to deal with, Luka.
It would have been fun to match up with the Heights.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Oh, man. Going back, playing in D.C. growing up, you told me a story. We only got 2 minutes left, so we'll do it abbreviated, because people think, okay, Washington, D.C., hotbed of hoops, which it was. You were first team All-Met in Washington for the Washington Poach, which is, by the way, a ridiculous honor. And you go to Iowa. So you told me the story of how Fran McCaffrey kind of started to fall in love with Luka Garza. How did that unfold?
So we had an AAU tournament in Atlanta, actually, going into my 16U season, which meant I was a sophomore in high school. So it was pretty early on, and I actually got to play against Connor McCaffrey, in this tournament. But it was a dead period, so no coaches could be there, no college coaches. But one could be there because his son was playing, and that was Fran McCaffrey. And so all our coaches were telling us, hey, there's one coach here, it's a big opportunity. So, I went out there, I had a really good game, and then I actually was in a camp a month later with Connor again. That's when we really met and became friends, and I got to play against him again. And so I was able to have a couple good games against his teams, and that's when Coach Fran started recruiting me, and the rest is history. Player
of the Year, 2-time All-American, 2,000 points, 850 rebounds, 125 blocks, 100 threes. Just remind our producer, Aaron Oster, you're from Washington, D.C. Did you get a scholarship offer for Maryland?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Just a reminder, January 7th of your senior year at Maryland, 89-67 Iowa, 24 points from Luka, just 17 in the first half. No big deal. So it might have been on his mind just a little bit. Hey, Luka, we appreciate it, man. Wish you nothing but the best. And, make your calls. Call some people around the league.
I will. I got you, dog. I got
Call up Popovich. Call up everybody. Luka Garza, one of the greats of in Iowa history.
Visit VSiN.com to get current odds, listen for free, find showtimes, and download VSiN sports betting podcasts.